up in the top right corner of Cloud Kingdom, it is TSL Hyun, our reigning champion, the red Zerg up here. And down here in the bottom left, it is the blue Protoss Roxkiss Titan trying to make something happen after that sort of rough start that he had there on Kedaria.
You know, you say $500 show match, but if Titan manages to take out Hyun, he will win $1,100.
That's a good point.
That's a lot of money also.
That is quite a lot of money. It's more than most online tournaments would get you. So winning a single best of 9 is actually becoming more and more valuable every single week, as we're still looking for the person to try and unseat Hyun. Titan still obviously has a very good chance at it. He just needs to not fail Cannon Rush anymore.
So
maybe he'll get something going.
So this map is actually pretty good for Titan. He's very, very strong on 2 bases. Even though he got pretty far behind in the last game, you could see he was trying to do a really strong 2-base build. This one very, very good for 2-gate blink with Colossus, or just 2-gate blink in general. The map is really, really formatted for that. So we'll see if he's going to try to do that, or if he's going to try another really weird off-the-wall build like he did last time.
We have seen a lot of crazy PvZ games on Cloud Kingdom. Valencia actually had some really good ones as well, but basically what usually ends up happening is this third base gets taken, and then this ramp becomes super duper important. At the same time, you've got the smaller ramp into the main and the ramp with the destructible rocks that act as entry points. So once that third base gets established, that's when things really start to get crazy. You see multi-prong attacks left and right for both players. Actually, Hyun is going for a spawning pool first here, not going to afford him the same comfort that he did on Kedaria, knowing that his opponent had to scout around. This is just a 2-player map, so Titan obviously sent a probe straight over to Hyun's base to try and do this annoying probe dance that you see all the time in PvZ. So Hyun does have 300 minerals to drop the hatch. He's unable to do it, of course, because the probe is in the way.
Ooh, very nice by Titan.
Dropping that Manor pylon for Titan, keeping his probe alive is all he really wanted to do here. That means he can actually cancel this later. It looks like he is going to drop a Nexus right after Forge once he hits 400 minerals, but he can cancel this right at the very last second and just let Hyun drop that hatch. He is going to block this third as well, because he knows Hyun likes to send that drone over regardless, and he's actually going to Manor pylon block that as well.
That is actually really well. As we've been casting Hyun a lot lately, obviously, and Hyun will just go spawning pool first to avoid this, but he'll usually send the drone to the third, just ignore the drone, the probe at the natural because of this. But now Hyun is actually going to be pretty far behind because he's going to have to kill both these pylons before he can get up to a standard 3 base.
I really thought Titan might cancel that, just because obviously Lings are out now. These probes, these pylons, excuse me, are going to block Hyun for probably the longest we've seen yet. I don't think any Protoss opponents yet. We've had Tyr, we've had Squirtle, obviously. Grubby also played. And
it looks like some Lings are trying to get into Titan's base, but he's already walled. So pretty safe and very well done by Titan. Now he's going to be able to, you know, safely get his economy up. And Hyun is not going to be able to actually keep up for the next few minutes simply because he's stuck on 1 base for the moment. Yeah, this is interesting. Hyun obviously is saving up again now for the second hatchery that he wants. And there it goes. So he was delayed by quite a lot. It did cost Titan 200 minerals to be able to do that, though. So it's not, you know, totally free just to offset your opponent like that. But having that Nexus up before him is definitely going to be huge. He's not making any probes from it right now, though, which I find very surprising. Instead, he's got a cannon coming up for the natural. And now this is actually not going to get spotted. There's no Overlord anywhere close to this.
That's actually really interesting. I'm very surprised that he would actually go for this after the way it was handled so well by Hyun last game. Obviously, with this full wall off, it affords him a little bit of comfort. Lings are not going to be able to run in there. He's not going to show himself off yet. He's going to build a third cannon.
Oh, and it's going to get spotted now. And there are queens out, so he might be able to defend this, but it is still going to delay mining at this base for quite some... Oh, and he cancels it.
Oh, very nice.
I actually thought Hyun might have been able to defend that, but he just didn't want to take the chance, and he's probably actually going to expand to the 4th instead.
He did just cancel that third cannon because he knows it's not necessary now. He bought the delay that he was looking for, and he's actually not going to be able to make it all the way into the main, but there's only a single gas coming up. These Zerglings aren't going to have speed for a very long time. This hatch is going to come up here at the 3rd, and all these drones are starting to disalign.
Yeah, and Hyun actually is about to build a hatcher. Yep, and he does. He builds it at the 4th. He really wants that 3 base. He, you know, no contingency plans for him. Now Titan is finally getting probes at this base. He's getting +1 already, so it looks like he might gear up for some kind of timing push. And with that position of Hyun's third, that's going to leave him pretty vulnerable simply because it's on the low ground with high ground behind it, so you can kill workers very easily. And that position is generally not very easy to defend early in the game for Zerg as well.
It's still kind of crazy to see that the harvester count is so close still. The mineral income is obviously very close. Gas is the big difference here as Titan is able to tech up a lot faster. He's been harvesting gas, you know, effortlessly for the last few minutes while Hyun was still just trying to establish bases. That third base will come up soon, but obviously, you know, you much rather have it at your natural so that you can defend it easily. This is going to be way out here. If Titan doesn't scout, you know, it could actually be okay, but you know, he did lose that scouting probe earlier on. He's maybe not going to see that for a little while.
Yeah.
And Hyun does have a queen there already. He could throw up some spine crawlers as well for a little added fortification. But Hyun, even after being stalled for quite a while, has now passed his opponent in harvesters, and he's still looking okay. I mean, neither side really has any fighting forces at the moment. 8 lings against a sentry and a zealot.
Yeah.
It's not like Titan just totally, you know, went full-on aggression or anything like that.
The lucky thing for Titan is that he took a fourth in a position that he's probably going to walk over, because if he's going to go to the third, he's almost definitely going to go by where the fourth is, because that's the natural route to it. If he had put his, you know, where the fifth usually is, if he had hid this natural there, then, you know, it might have been a little secret, but I'm pretty sure Titan's going to see this one. What it looks like he's going to do some kind of a 2-base poke with about 4 gateways as he's building 3 more, and Mortals coming out just as +1 is finishing.
Yep, he's doing 4 gates with a robotics facility to start making those Immortals. Observer's already out trying to look at things here. Hyun does have his third base established, still nothing at the natural. I'm really curious how long it's going to be before he tries to clear out these cannons, or if he just doesn't care for a while now that he's got his third base. He is getting those Roach upgrades, range attack and Roach speed. Zergling speed obviously getting research as well. He can see the creep now, so he's definitely going to swing by and know that that base is there and undefended, more or less undefended aside from this single queen.
Yeah, so Titan's gearing up, and he's adding on 2 more gateways, so definitely going to see come to push. And he actually, did he just warp to his cannons? He did, yeah. Cannot overlook the fact that he can warp in there, and while Hyun doesn't actually see him going to the main, he didn't use his Zerglings to react at all, and he could lose quite a few drones here, or maybe even the queen.
Oh, Roaches pop out at perfect timing, but they obviously rally right past the Zealots there.
Oh, he's chasing the queen.
He should be able to get it. Maybe not. If he warps in again, he definitely could, but I'm surprised he did all Zealots there, not a single Stalker or Sentry. If he had gotten up in the main with a Stalker, could have force-fielded that ramp. No, doesn't get the queen.
I do not like that play at all. I think he should have gone for the drones with those Zealots rather than going for the queen. He is building a Warp Prism, so this push is coming right now, and we'll see if Hyun is able to make enough in time to defend this. He's building 10 Lings and 9 Roaches in order to get ready, but Titan also is making a ton of units and has quite a few Sentries. That's a huge mistake by Titan.
I don't know how these queens got over here, but they're not long for this world. Both queens going down extremely fast. 2 Immortals in the mixture. It will be all up to the sentries to drop force fields perfectly to keep the Immortals alive as long as possible. Obviously, with lots of Roaches on the field now, these Immortals are going to be extremely important. It is usually the Immortals you see getting 20+ kills by the end of an engagement like this. Here come the force fields. Titan's going to need a little bit better than that, though, if he's going to get the surface area down on these Immortals. Look at that one dying extremely fast. This other one only 7 kills to him.
Where are the force fields?
Going down
he took so long to force field the Roaches out, and now he's completely surrounded.
He is surrounded. He's trying to do another warp in of 4 Stalkers, but you can see, obviously, that there are many, many Roaches still alive. Those Immortals going down so fast was huge. 3 Zealots are getting warped in near the mineral line of the main. The Warp Prism actually comes in to scoop those, but you can see so many Roaches still standing. These Zealots are going to have to get something big done before these Roaches return home. I'm not sure they're going to be able to, obviously, as Hyun is still creating more units. Lings are going to be able to deal with these Zealots before the Roaches even get over there. Man, Titan all over the place, actually swinging back with the Warp Prism, trying to clear out those drones, but Hyun didn't even really have any sitting there anymore. 18 workers killed by Titan? How? That's
he killed quite a few at the third, and he didn't really get any done in the main, but that was not enough damage done. Already an Infestation Pit coming out for Hyun, and he doesn't have Blink on the Stalkers. In fact, I don't actually think he has a Twilight Council yet. So no +2 upgrades coming either. This push is kind of stalled out, and unless Titan can do some significant damage quickly or take a third, he's going to find himself very far behind.
So he's still trying to split the army of Hyun with this pylon over here, still dropping, or warping Angelics, excuse me, and dropping the Stalkers. But you can see, just look at the resources lost. Obviously, this looks like a totally different tale when you see 21 workers killed, 80 units killed total, but then you see the value of these units heavily favors Hyun. You can see just how bad that engagement went for Titan. He's still trying to do the drop action here. This pylon is going to go down finally, and that's going to make it even easier for Hyun to try and respond to the single threat rather than two. The Queens are going to be able to ward away the Warp Prism, and the Roaches really should follow this, because if the Warp Prism does fall into the red health, he's going to want to drop those Stalkers for sure. Oh wow, here we go. Actually, Hyun was flanking around and would certainly get those Stalkers if they were dropped. Titan back at his base does have 3 Immortals up again, lots of sentries. Gas value in this army is insanely high.
But 9 Infestors just came out for Hyun, are about to pop out, so that's going to take care of a lot of this push. He is finally getting Blink now that he has a Twilight and +2, but he's going to have to play this a lot better than he did in his first engagement with those sentries. It takes a lot of gas to rebuild all those sentries. He lost way too many in order for him to have some kind of a sustained push like you'd like to see, and he also is not even, posturing at a third at all. So this is just a true 2-base all-in at this point, unless, he's going to try. Okay, wow, he actually is going to try to take a third. So that's probably the better move, considering there's so many Infestors out on the field. But he's still going to have to be very careful, because Hyun is actually approaching a maxed army.
Yes, Hyun has been macroing like crazy. He's still got a ton of workers, standing 62 compared to only 45 of Titan. Titan is trying to be sneaky here with the Warp Prism, but it does get fungled. This actually could be a chain fungal and kill the Warp Prism with all the Stalkers inside. Oh my goodness. So that's a huge pickup for Hyun, obviously getting rid of a Warp Prism and those 4 Stalkers inside. He's got a pretty open door now around to the third that still has not even been attempted to be established. So Burrow right there is going to keep a Nexus from going down as well. He can just run right in here.
Yeah, I don't even
try to win this engagement. Titan is actually moving out. He doesn't even know this huge army is basically right at his natural already.
I don't even think Hyun is going to try to engage the army. He's just going to push right into the base and make Titan come to him. He's tired of waiting, and I don't know if there's going to be a good position for Titan to have. You're breaking down the rocks to have a better service area, but the Fungal's coming down. Fungal's almost the entire army. Some force fields coming out. Another Fungal. Fungal's almost everything again. Infestor's just sitting and waiting. Sentry health going down. Tons of energy, but no force fields coming out. He's killing some of the Infestors, but so many of his units are dying to all the fungal growth. So many Roaches left. Now infested Terrans coming out. Oh man, and I don't know if Titan's going to be able to hold on.
There are still 5 Immortals standing. That's crazy, but the fungal growths have run out. All the Infestors are down. There's still a lot of units standing for Titan, so I don't know if this is going to be a death blow. These Immortals are going to just pick apart these Roaches. You can see 1-0 upgrades against 1-1 actually, but they just do so much damage to Roaches that once these Infestors all died off, Titan could easily come back. But look at this, the entire wall off is gone now. He's missing that Forge and Gateway that he had there earlier, so he's going to have to rebuild somewhere else. I don't think he's even getting another Forge. Nope. Blink is done now. He has not researched Charge, but he's in a weird position now because he killed that army. He knows Hyun is going to remax, or at least try to, and he's still not on a third base, so he's going to be behind no matter what as we move into about the 18-minute mark. Still no third base planned for Titan. That's going to be rough as Hyun is still chugging along so well on 3.
That was a very, very sloppy engagement by Hyun. He had great position, but he didn't really take advantage of it. His macro slipped for a little bit there. You saw he was over 1,600 with 600 gas, but now he's building tons of Lings, tons of Roaches, some Infestors again.
And more upgrades.
And more upgrades as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see if he's going Hive, if he hasn't already. Has he gone for Hive yet?
I don't think he has.
No, still at Lair, so it looks like he's going to try to win this at Tier 2. Titan, like you said, he's in an odd spot. He has a lot of Immortals, and he still has a pretty high sentry count. So with a good engagement, he could get back into this game. He's not that far behind, even though he's down 40 food. But his army is very, very scary, as any Zerg player knows. It really depends on how well he positioned his army and how good his force fields are.
There's a huge number. He actually fungled an Observer right there. Huge number of Infestors in this group. Fungals alone could keep these sentries down, could actually kill them all.
Ooh, dangerous Blink.
Yeah, so we got Infested Terrans coming down. Obviously, the DPS from those are similar to Marines, so that's just going to bolster his army even more. These Immortals all getting surrounded. The Lings get past the number of force fields that you see here. All these Infested Terrans doing crazy good DPS too. The Immortals going to finish them off, and Titan drops the G and leaves the game. Hyun up 2-0 already in this best of 9.